Hi, welcome to the shit show. To the shit show. I'm just doing another... Wow, can't take myself seriously. I'm just doing another just fast inner work shadow thing spirit update. Wow, I'm not prepared. Okay, first things first. I'm on day 10. No, I'm on day 11 of my fasting inner work thing. Introspection. That's what we're gonna call it. Introspection. Introspective period. And I've made some successes, or I've gained some successes, and I've made some mistakes. But they're mistakes in the sense of, like, I'm not listening to myself. And even just thinking about that, I'm like, wow, how many times have I not listened? How much neglect have I given my body? I think, oh man. So I've decided absolutely no sugar whatsoever. I accidentally, well, first of all, I made, so other than, like, munching on sugar, the only other thing that I really like is, to, like, not numb, but, to just kind of feel better, or, like, feel good, I guess, or just to kind of, I don't know, like, not guilty, but guilty pleasure, is cacao. I like cacao. I like putting in my drinks. I thought, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make cacao little chocolate nibs, and put them in the freezer, and it's a really easy recipe. It's delicious. After I'm done with this, I'll probably, once I have more self-discipline, I'll make those again. But it's basically cacao powder. I put maca in it, and then some coconut oil, a pinch of salt, and then maple syrup. So I thought maple syrup wasn't that bad, and it's really not, because it has a low glycemic index, but I can't have one. So, and then after I ate a bunch of them, I was like, oh, like literally I got a headache almost immediately. And I knew that from the beginning, because I'm like, okay, sugar is the culprit. It is the culprit. It's the culprit of it takes away your nutrients, and especially if you have too much, which I usually do. And then on top of that, here, I saved one last one. I got these, I don't know, it's Good and Gather. I got it from Target. I had a box of those just sitting. And then, like, once you start, you can't stop. So it's called cashew butter chocolate chip. And then my little sugar run little ass brain was like, oh, I'll buy these, because these are, like, they only have, what, 6 ingredients? Dates, cashews, organic chocolate chips, organic cane sugar, organic cocoa liquor, organic cocoa butter, sea salt. So those aren't completely bad ingredients, but it's this, even organic cane sugar, people use that, like myself included, people use that as an excuse to be like, oh, it's organic, I can use as much as I want because it has more, no it doesn't, it has very, 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 very small nutritional value. It's not worth it. And it still does spike your blood sugar, and it takes away nutrients from you. Because your body has to respond to what gets put in your body. So I'm saving this. I'm putting it in my freezer. Because I'm like, alright, I don't want it. I think essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out a rhythm and of lifestyle. because I've been neglecting myself for probably 30 years, but I lost my innocence at a very young age, unfortunately. And so I know better. And we're not going to get that deep today, Lacey. So in regards to, like, my little mishap, I've decided to just do a 36-hour water fast, aside from, I'm drinking just celery juice, because I don't know, I don't want to jump on any bandwagons, but the medical medium, I think plants are supposed to help heal you, and the medical medium, I don't know, everybody's like, well, what about medical medium, or like, drink celery juice, or there's like this whole celery juice cleanse, or like thing happening. I was watching it, observing it on YouTube, and people were like, oh, do a 7-day water or celery cleanse, and I'm like, oh god. I actually did it a few years ago, and it just flushes out your toxins, or it doesn't. I don't want to get into it. Basically, it hydrates me rapidly, and it does help rebuild your digestive system. Provides the liquids. I don't know, what the medical medium said was that there's specific, like, salt crystals, or like type of sodium that can only be found in celery juice, and that's why you can only drink the celery juice. I'm like, okay, whatever, but I like it. So oh yeah, okay, so oh man, I can't condense so much energy, like, of all that I feel into, like, just a video. I was running in the park today, just recently, and as some of you know, I used to be in the military, and in the military, you almost always have 2 things on you at all times, and you cannot lose them. Well, one of them you cannot lose. The other one is okay, but it's always on you. Well, and I need to take this off. This is a bit, whatever. One of them is a watch, so you can always tell the time, and that's how you go insane. You're always looking at the time. That's how they get you. And then the other one is a cat card. So it like triggered like something, and I'm not in the military anymore. Thank fucking God, because there's so much shit, and this is part of it. Oh, the Department of Defense. Go fuck yourself, you fucking bitch entity. You know what? To the Department of Defense, really? Really? We should take you guys seriously? When you're people that, you know, they have to go through a process to be in the military, but they're just throwing their cat cards and leaving. I found somebody's cat card. They were in the Navy. They were in the Navy, and it was just set in this, like, there's like a welcome center, and then somebody just set their cat card inside this plastic box for everybody to see. You take papers from it, and then there's a cat card. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, who is this? I immediately looked around, and I was like, is there blankety blank anybody anywhere near? The thing with a cat card, fuck, I even forgot what the cat card stands for. It's a card with a chip. It's like a debit card almost. It's your fucking access into the defense system. So if that gets lost, or somebody wants to steal it from you, easily fucking, like, cyber attack, easily. You could just use somebody's identification. You could go in, especially if they had a security clearance. Yeah, it's a fucking big deal. It's just, I was like, whoa, okay, so I turned it in, obviously, because that's the right thing to do, but at the same time, I was very, very bitter, because I'm like, God, I fucking hate the DOD. I just hate it. I hate it because it should be called the Department of Offense. Because I don't really see any defending it's doing. Where the fuck else did I? Oh, yes. So while I was I'm probably not going to upload this today, so if you're watching this, thanks for watching. Again, I hope I'm not wasting your time. This is, I don't know, I put it out there because, I don't know, some people might like to know shit. And I go on a sporadic rampage of, like, knowing shit. And it's a curse. Sometimes it's helpful, but it's a fucking curse. It's a fucking curse. Welcome to the Tri-Field EMF meter model TF2. It reads standard magnetic pulses in the area, standard electric volts in the area, and then it has the weighted electric volts, and it has RF, radio frequency. So right now, I'm on, so each, if there's an electronic device, or if there's like a plug or an outlet or something like that, that's going to read volts. Like how many volts is going through that wire, or how many volts is being emitted from the electronic device. Every electronic or every electrical device also emits a subtle magnetic field around it. And then, depending on how much power or how much magnetic field is going on, excuse me. Wow. That creates, how do I explain, like, the picture in my head? Either way, if you have a magnetic, okay, we are bioelectric beings, right? When you have a signal, or when you have like an like a pulse of electricity going on, it's going to emit like a magnetic field. And then if there's a really condensed magnetic field, it's going to emit EMF radiation. Same with radio frequency. It emits radiation, but it's on a different level. It's really the same thing. EMF and radio frequency are basically the same things. There's a subtle difference. Well, there's a difference, but it's basically the same thing as in what it does. So I was experimenting around with this. Well, first of all, I tested my phone. I went and I did my whole trailer. And there's not a lot of signal or any like volts or radio frequency radiation or EMF in my room. There's like a small little, a small volt, like kind of volt coming from my outlets. But that's about it. And then there's like the subtle, maybe like 0.002 like reading of like I have to figure this out more and figure out the terminology. But I know like the well, they're not actually standards. They haven't been properly, like there's not actual like, those are the types of studies that we can use to actually get a good standard amount for what the reading should be for them to qualify as safe for an individual human. We don't have that knowledge. But they do have what is recognized to be a safe level. It says right here, absolutely safe levels have not been established. Interesting. I don't think any. Because all of the signals and all of the stuff is not natural to the planet. It's matrix derived. Matrix as in like, it's in the mind of the planet, or created by human beings. Yeah. Anyways, though, Oh, okay, so the standard for the radio frequency field measurement should be 0.200 or below, and that's just field measurement. And then for the peak measurement, because it measures here, I'll show you. See, the peak measurement comes up in this corner here, and this is the field measurement. And then right here, if I turn it to RF, it's okay. It's not that bad. Actually, I don't have any Wi-Fi or anything hooked up here. I just go to Starbucks. God only knows what's gonna go up, what I do when I go to Starbucks. But I turned on my phone, which I have unlimited data. It fucking went off the charts. Like, just a nice little, like, 0.002, 0.001, before I turned on my phone. I turned on my phone. This thing does have sound, but I got I got one that was cost a little bit less because it was supposedly damaged, but it's not. If the sound was on, it would go like, it was like if you had a regular fucking gamma radiation reader, it would probably be going like that. So think of, like, I took it to the park, and every time I was by somebody that had their phone, it would fucking peak. It would peak. It would go, again, like the peak measurements the peak measurements just basically measure the highest amount of radio frequency in that area. So remember, the higher the amount, the more radiation it's going to emit. It went off the charts. So the peak measurement, which is considered a safe level, is 1.000 milliwatts per millimeter. It's MW/M2. I can't remember. This is embarrassing. But, okay, just remember 1.000. That's like the peak measurement for what is considered safe. It went to 18.2, it went to 30.2. I think I wrote down the measurements of like the peaks that were happening by the time you were holding it. I think it's every 30 seconds or so it takes a peak measurement and that's just the biggest pulse of radio frequency. It just went off the charts. It says, what is in here? It says, if the display reads mag 1 -- or RF 1 -- what does this mean? This indicates that measurement for that type of field is over range, meaning fields above 100.0 on magnetic or 1000 or 10 oh my fucking god. It says this does not harm the meter. Obviously, but, maybe, is it fucking with our own electromagnetic fields? Is it messing with how society fucking functions on an actual planetary cosmic level? Is it, oh my fucking god. Die. Wow. So yeah, my phone is off right now. And I'm just gonna kind of leave it off for most of the day. Again, like I said, we've got 2.2 billion active smartphones, and that's only the ones that have an account that are like... I don't know, I'm speechless. just want to rock to comfort myself. So yeah, this is this is not fun. People really want to know, like, the strings in the Matrix. Like, what controls the Matrix? Your heart. Your heart. And your consciousness. And when something is disrupting that signal, or potentially disrupting it, when people walk down the street and they're just, you know, they're just doing their thing, or they're just looking on their phone, and do you think maybe you might be programming yourself, or you are being programmed, or you're doing a program, or you're running a program? Because now when I walk out, I'm just like, oh, signal there, signal there, signal there. Yeah, it's kind of like, have you ever seen that movie Lucy? Where you can just look at the fucking, like, signals coming down, like, the fucking things of information. That's where I'm like, I was at the park, like, just playing with this thing. And there is for some reason, it peaked when I was standing on this tree. And I thought that the trees or plant material was supposed to block, or, well, they absorb signals, I should say, or the radio frequency. They absorb frequencies. That's what they do, because they're grounded. So I was like, why is it peaking here more? I was standing right on top of its root system, and the tree was fine because it was grounded to the planet, so its external was like, you know, it was actually dying though. Well, some of its branches were dying, but it was a big tree in the middle of the park. Maybe I'll do a video playing around with this thing, but I just, like, I'm like, wow, how much have I neglected myself because of this technology? It's frustrating. So that'll be it for today. Lacey, thank you. Thank you, Lacey. Oh yeah, well, no problem. Turn off the phones.